Hello, people. Welcome to the show tonight. I have a very big surprise that's going to shock you. I mean, really shock you. Something that I never thought I would see. But the funny thing about this genre is very strange things happen. And tonight is one of those strange things. But first, I want to talk about one thing. FBS continues going on and how he's going to have Tony arrested and put in jail and all the fun stuff. And I like to say one thing that's very important. I am threatened. I have people call me and threaten my life in the name of Fat Bald Sicilian on a regular basis. There's Anthony Salerno that calls me on the phone and drops hints of me being hurt if I keep messing with Bald Sicilian. I have another guy, and I have all the records for this. And if Sicilian wants me to prove it, I will show these records and the phone number where it came from. The guy calls me and tells me that he wants me to shut down my channel because of everything going on with Chris, and he's threatening me. So, this is a two-way street. Chris, you're threatening to take Tony down, but you have people on your behalf. You have Damian Trites come into your chat room and threaten to beat people up all the time. Like almost on a daily basis, he's threatening to hurt people. And you never say to him, Damian, don't say that. Damian, get out of here. And then on top of that, Chris, you were in the first doxing that happened was when you were on the show at Stax. And Gray Thin Line put up my phone number and I was doxxed. And then you mocked me when you did shows saying, that I was complaining about it. I shouldn't be bitching so much. Oh, I'm a baby for complaining about being doxxed. But here you are. And the difference between you and I is you're literally threatening to have a man thrown in jail. Now, something's wrong here. And on top of that, you have a poster of John Gotti above your head. John Gotti would not file an appeal because he considered it a form of snitching. And not only that, you betrayed his daughter. The poster above your head, you betrayed his daughter, Angel Gotti. You picked Jimmy Calandra, who's a known rat, over Angel Gotti. So you have a lot of issues going on, Chris. But I got another surprise, too. I've had my issues with this person, and we've went at it heavy. I mean, there was times I dreaded turning on her show because she was going to just beat the daylights out of me. And it wasn't fun, But, when this happened, we kind of reached out to each other and not to be friends. She wants to talk about what happened. And, and nothing here we talked about yet. She's going to come on this show and give her version. And this is not staged or anything. I don't have no idea what this person is going to say until she says it. And it's, and that's like when I have Tony on. I don't know what Tony's going to say until he says it. So with that, I'm going to bring Josie on. Josie, how you doing?
Good. How are you doing?
Did you ever think you see the day that you're on my show?
No. I'm not going to lie. No, I didn't. And I did think long and hard about it, whether to do it or not. But, at the end of the day, me and you have rolled in the dirt, literally.
Yes.
We're like an old married couple now, to be honest. And, I just think there has to come a time where it's time to call a truce to it all. You know what I mean? We've rolled around in the dirt. That's it, And
Josie, FBS is going to say, well, the only reason we're talking is because you don't have nobody on your side no more. That's right. The first thing. That's what he's going to say. Well,
of course. Yeah, of course he's going to say that. I already know. He said already before that, she's going to go over to Lee, she's going to come on Lee's show. So he knows I'm going to be on your show. He already knew that. But the reasons that he thinks I'm on here are not that's not the reason. He made a 4-hour show yesterday. Now, I could have got up here and done my own show, You know what I mean? And done a 4-hour show on him. But I can't be bothered with that. And when I thought about it, I saw your video and you were 100% right in that video. You know, I just feel like he's friend to no one. And, you know, I want to get my side of it out because, you know, he sat for 4 hours with his rhetoric, you know, and it doesn't work that way. You know, I have a side. The two sides to pancake.
And Josie, what I found amazing, the first show that you did when you pretty much went off, he was telling you how great it was because it didn't have to do anything with him. But the second show, when you did it and you went at him and his wife, it totally changed. For some reason, he started saying that first show was a good show, and then he slowly changed. And then the following day, he went in a total different direction.
Well, here's the thing about those shows, right? I did go ranting and raving for a little bit, but you know, I didn't watch his 4-hour show yesterday. I didn't have to. People were calling me, texting me. There's a lot of people behind me, you know, and the problem is, Lee, a lot of people were texting me, I got your back, la, 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 but they don't say it publicly because they're afraid to. You know what I mean? Right. But a lot of people were behind me. A lot of people felt the way I felt because I'm not the only one that, you know, this is kind of, well, I'm going to get into why it happened, why I lost it. But, you know, I did hear that he was saying she needs to take these videos down, blah, blah, blah. You know, I didn't know he said that. I honestly didn't watch it because I didn't want to rile myself up any more riled than I was. And I was talking to someone and they said, well, you know, would you think about apologizing? I said, no, I wouldn't think about apologizing. If anything, they owe me an apology, right? That's what I believe. I said, but maybe I did go off the deep end a little bit. And I said, okay, well, what I will do is take him down. And I said that off my own bat, not because he said it. And it was right after that when I took him down, somebody said he ordered me basically to take them down. You know, so had I have known that, I'd have left the shit up. You know, but anyway, shall I go into how this happened?
Yeah, I'd like to ask you one thing before anything.
Yeah.
When you were dealing with this, did anybody ever ask you or offer you any money to go after anybody?
No.
Okay,
no.
So no, that's never happened before.
Never.
Okay.
I swear on my dog's life, I don't know where they are, but no, nobody's ever paid me anything. No.
Okay, so basically, when you did these shows, you did them on your own. These were your feelings, right. And then when did you start becoming friends with FBS?
Well, we were never really friends. He never really liked me, the truth be told. He never did. You know, he would always kind of he was dismissive of me. Let me put it that way, you know, and I kind of knew that. But what would happen is, you know, when me and you were getting into it and him and you were getting into it, you know, we weren't allies. I didn't talk to him every day. We didn't email, nothing like that. Every so often I might get, you know, a snippet from somebody and I would send it to him, or, you know, I would text him and say, oh, this happened or that happened. But that wasn't very often. It really wasn't. And, you know, I just always had that underlying, I'm not quite sure what it was. I don't know if it's because I'm a woman in this genre. Like he was saying yesterday, she needs to get off. She's not built for this. She's thin-skinned. Thin-skinned? Me, compared to him.
I don't consider you thin-skinned. Believe me, I know.
I was like, is he joking? Anyway, so there never really was like a close relationship or anything like that.
Now, he made a statement yesterday that said, if it wasn't for him, your show would have never started getting built up because Yeah, he made that statement yesterday on his
No,
show.
I'll tell you why. No, I mean, my show, what have I got? 500 subs. It's been
Yeah,
several months. You know, the
exactly.
thing about it, he was running down my show. But the fact is, Lee, I'm not, you know, right now, I don't care about views and subs. If I did, we would be doing this on my show, right? You know, I
Yes.
don't mind help. You know what I mean? I don't mind helping people out or whatever. You know, people are waiting for my response. We know that. So, you know, no, not at all. He was running down, oh, she's never going to go anywhere, blah, blah, blah. You know, the whole thing is, I do this on the weekends. You know, I only come on once or twice a week, if that. You know what I mean? So if I sat here every day and got on here for 4 hours a day, I think I would have been and had 1,000 subs. Do you? You know, just
Oh,
sit there talking shit all day.
well, when he
You
took
know what I
credit
mean?
for that, I found it kind of weird because you were at 500 and you never got to 1,000. So maybe he doesn't have as much power as he thinks he has. What
Right.
got
You know,
me, what got me
you
yesterday is
helped.
he was,
Everybody helped. You
yeah.
helped in the beginning. He helped. MRE helped. You know, a lot of people said sub to a channel and whatever. He always makes everything about him. It had very little to do with him. In fact, MRE probably plugged me more than he did, and you did too. So, you know, that's the biggest load of old bullshit I've ever heard in
Well,
my life.
here's a tough question. What
Yeah.
made you decide that you were upset at me?
When you did that, well, there was little in the very beginning. I told you I liked your show, I watched it, and then I just started noticing these little things. And then I think the interview with Stax, I know that I don't know what happened with that interview, but that was where I thought, oh my God, really? You know what I mean? But that's the problem, and I think that's been my problem. I've been fighting other people's battles, and you don't get any thanks for it. Basically, you get shit on. You know what I mean? And so my eyes are wide open now. You know, they were wide
Well,
shut.
there was a couple times MRE came after me, and when he came after me, every time FBS was behind it and pushing him. This is what
Right,
FBS does. He pushes
right,
people to fight his battles. So
right,
I'm out here fighting my own battle, and
right.
FBS is here. But this whole thing is starting to flip on him. I don't know. Have you noticed it flipping on
Yes,
him? Because
yeah.
he doesn't seem to be noticing it.
Well, no, it's not. And, you know, it's every day. I mean, a 4-hour show basically bashing the shit out of me because I went after his wife. Well, you know, I'll get to that. But, you know, here's what happened. So after I did the original video, which video was it? Was it the ranting video? Whatever video it was. The New Beginnings thing. So, you know, he said, do you want to come on and talk, talk about what happened? He said, because he didn't really understand, you know, the copyright thing, you know, as far as my books. So I said, sure, you know, why not? So when I got on there and he was talking to me, something felt off. I couldn't put my finger on it at the time, but it was almost like he was going against me. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, he
And
was.
I just had this weird, something was off. It wasn't the same as when I've been on with him before. So when I got off, I got a million phone calls, emails again. What's up with Stats? You know, it sounded like he was going against you to me and blah, blah, blah. So I said, I thought something was like a little weird, but, you know, I didn't really have my finger on it. So then I get a phone call to say, right before I went on, or an hour before, Fatball Sicilian called Stax and said he was going to do a show debunking basically what I had said, which is fine, Lee. I don't have a problem with that. Everyone has their own opinion. He's entitled to his opinion. But as much as I've defended him and defended Shanna, a little courtesy text would have been nice. He doesn't have to check in with me to
No.
do his show. Of course not. But if it were me, I would have texted him and said, hey, you know what I mean? But
Well,
so when I feel like they set me up. I feel like
let me explain something to you real quick. The issue I had with him when we got along is we'd be talking on the phone, and then 2 hours later he would be doing a show attacking me, never telling me he was going to attack me, and just do it. His loyalty level is very low. He's only loyal to Jimmy Calandra because Jimmy Calandra he considers a celebrity.
Well, I don't consider him. I don't consider him loyal to Jimmy Calandra either. But in any event, so when I learned that, I was fuming, you know. And then I didn't realize what was happening. Somebody called me and said, "Oh, he's doing a show now. He's you know, he just called you a liar." So I went on there. I went in his chat, and I said, "Wait a minute, you know." He said he didn't believe I saw an attorney. He thought Jesse and I think Tim Reed again, you know. And just let me quickly say about Tim Reed. What Tim Reed does is on his own. He's not with me. He doesn't research for me. You know, here and there he might say something, you know, like the other day. He said, I think you were making a show about him or somebody was. And I haven't heard from him since. You know what I mean? He's him and Jesse got into it. Jesse's not a fan, and so that's that. But you know, Tim Reed had nothing to do with it. Neither did Jesse. So while I was in his chat, I said, "I'm going to email you the paperwork right now, so you can see that I did go to an attorney. I put my attorney's card." I put the paperwork. He could see it, what it said. He could see it was written. And what he did was he was ignoring it, right? And then people in the chat were saying, "Let Josie on, let Josie on." Well, it wasn't. He sat up there yesterday and was saying, "I didn't even want her on my show." You know, who the fuck is he? Jay Leno? You know, this is what the fuck? You know, who does he think he is? You know, he started off all humble, you know, and seemed a nice guy. Now, because he's got a few thousand followers, he's turned into Jim Jones. Is that the fella, the top fella? You know,
and people, I like to say one thing. If people go back and check some of my shows in the very beginning, or his when he first started, he was a very humble guy. He is not that guy no more. He is like this raging lunatic. I mean, he's just not a nice person.
Same thing with Shanna. She seemed so sweet. She would sit there, you know, and then I don't know what emboldened her ass. I don't, you know. It takes her fucking 20 minutes to say anything anyway. So, you know, I guess she wouldn't be able to say shit to me. You know what I mean? So, you know, I ain't worrying about that. And then, anyway, so what happened is he kept ignoring me. So the third time I said, "Look at your email. I just sent you the paperwork," because he just called me a liar. He didn't call me a liar. He implied it. You know what I mean? He finally looks at the paperwork, and it was kind of after that he let me on, you know, and basically, you know, I stated my case. That was all fine and dandy, and I went about my business. When I get off there, again, the phone's blowing up. Did you see Shanna? She was talking shit, looking at the sky, looking all around, you know, pulling them faces she pulls, talking shit under her breath. Now, here's the thing about that. I've defended that woman. You've heard me defend her. Everybody has. For how long? You know, and he had the nerve to sit up there last night talking about, "We never asked her to defend us. We never asked her." No, they didn't ask me. I did it because I thought it was right. That's how me and Tony Pizza first got into it. Because, you know, I had said to him, lay off his wife. You know what I mean? He said, "Oh, don't you tell me what to do," you know, and that's how me and him kind of started arguing. But, you know, I've always defended her and him. And I just think, you know, here he is. He's saying, "You have to come through me." Okay, Mr. Big Stuff, Mr. Big Man. When John A. slammed Shanna, what did he say to John A? They had a conversation. Did he go after him? "Don't you talk about my wife?" You know, because in the very beginning, he used to say, "Anyone goes after my wife, that's it. They'll be sorry, blah, blah, blah." Well, John Alite did, right? Did he say shit to him? No. Who's it? Tony Pizza. He even had Tony Pizza on his show twice. And all he said to Tony Pizza was, well, you did talk about my wife. He didn't go after him, did he? Have you talked about Shanna at any time? I think you might have too, but he's never come after you.
No, I've never talked about Shanna.
Okay, I couldn't remember. No. I couldn't remember. But, you know, there's been a few people that have gone after her, men, but now a woman's gone after her. Here he comes. You have to come through me. Shanna don't have to address you. Well, if Shanna doesn't have to address me, Shanna needs to shut her trap. That's what she needs to do. The first time I talked about Shanna was recently when I said she's been getting involved with a lot of the beefs. So she is no longer just a wife. She is a creator. So she has to take what she gives. Right. Look, she's sitting there right next to him. She, you know, here's the thing about that. You know, that's the first time I've seen her do it to me and whisper under her breath and talk shit. Well, I was right there. You know, if I felt a certain way, I'd have knocked him out the way and I'd have said, no, I think you're wrong, Josie, or whatever it was. You know, don't sit there making faces and talking under your damn breath. And then when I call her out on it, oh, you got to come through me. Well, when it's men doing it, he don't say that then, does he? Or did he? Not at all. No, he's very nice to John Alite, very nice to Tony Pizza, you know, and that's another thing. You know, he was mad at, you know, he basically said, so I'm told, that I backed away when I talked to Tony Pizza. I can talk to who I want. Who died and made him king? You know what I mean? Why is it okay for him to make peace with you? He's made peace with you 100 times. Tony Pizza he's made peace with a couple of times. He's made peace with Jeff Nadu. You know, he's made peace with a lot of people. But is it really, you know, why is it okay for him and not for me? You know, I didn't really have a problem with Tony Pizza other than when he was talking about women the way he was. I thought it was gross, you know, but other than that, that's the only argument we really had. You know what I'm saying? So why shouldn't I make peace?
And what do you think about him threatening to send Tony to jail?
I think it's messed up because, you know, like I said on my video yesterday, there are two Tony Pizzas. I mean, he sits up there talking shit about him all day, all night, right? So Tony's going to react. He's a reactor. You know what I mean? And so it just goes back and forth. But does he deserve to go to prison for that? No. But he did threaten a few lives here and there. But then so has the other side, you know, not verbally, Fatball Sicilian hasn't, but as you say, and
people have threatened my life on his behalf.
Right. Well, here's the thing about that. Now, they had him and Shanna had the nerve to sit up there talking about doxing. Oh, it's terrible. This poor girl, she might be, you know, this might send her over the edge, blah, blah, blah. You know, shut the hell up. Anyway, oh, she's been doxed. She's been doxed. Well, remember when you were doxed, Lee? When Kevin put your...
I was the first one doxed out of everybody.
That's right. That's right. So remember that?
Yeah,
it was Fatball Sicilian that sent that screenshot to Kevin. Yeah. He didn't crop it. He sent it to him. So who's guilty here? Him for sending it? Yeah, Kevin for putting it up. But he sent it to Kevin knowing that Kevin was going to put it up.
And I had...
So who's the doxer here?
I had hundreds of calls where people literally were threatening my life because of
so
that.
Who's the... Exactly. And they want to sit there and talk about swatting and, you know, the kids, the woman's kids being this and that. What if someone would have come and hurt you? Who gave Kevin that information? Fatball Sicilian did. And if you
found that out later. I was under the assumption it was Kevin, and then I found out that Ball Sicilian sent it to him without hiding the number. So it's obvious that he purposely sent it like that.
Exactly. So who, you know, how are you going to sit about talking about me when, what did you just do there? You know what I mean? and and what happened is, you know, he sat back and let them take the flack. You know what I mean? Stack's got a lot of flack. Kevin got a lot of flack. He didn't stand up and say, hey, I sent it. You know what I mean? I sent it to Kevin. He didn't take none of the blame. He just sat back and grinned like he does. You know what I mean? And what he did to Kevin was then turn his back on him. And, you know, because people were all saying he's what is he, a cop caller or whatever the hell they were calling him, you know, but he was supposed to be, they were supposed to be friends. And did he have his back? No. You sent him that paperwork. So during that period, you know, I don't know about after when you all got into it. I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about that period when he sent that paperwork to Kevin. Kevin put it up. He should have had his back, don't you think?
Sicilian doesn't take anybody's back but Jimmy Calandras.
I don't even think he takes his back. I don't. And I've said it before. I've watched him many times when someone's been talking shit about Jimmy Calandra and he doesn't defend him. He doesn't. The same thing with the, you know, Gunsmoke that he had there. He left him hanging out to dry. It was only when I said something that he finally got on there and said, you know, Jimmy and Gunsmoke, my friends, and blah, blah, blah. So the other week when, the weekend when he came on my show, when I was talking about him, you know, I let him on. I let him state his case. And what did he say? Prior to that, he made a whole show about how he doesn't have friends, how he doesn't trust people. He's friend to no one. He basically said that. And so when he came on my show and I asked him about that, he said, well, I didn't mean Gunsmoke and I didn't mean, you know, Jimmy Calandra. But actually, I believe he did mean that. I don't think he's friends to anyone at all. You know, honestly don't.
No, I agree. I agree with you.
You know.
So where do you see yourself going from that here after all this happened and you're like frustrated as hell? I mean, so what are you planning on doing?
Well, hang on a second. I did write a couple of things down so I don't forget. You know, yeah, the thing even with this doxing thing, he's changed his mind every day of the week. Have you noticed that? He says one thing one day, another thing the next day, then he changes it again and changes it again. You know, listen, they're entitled to their opinion. That's not why I was angry. I was angry because, you know, you can't, she sits there, you know, making faces and talking under her breath. Everybody hates that. Even before that happened with me, everybody used to talk about that. Oh my God, why is she pulling these faces? And, you know, when she goes to say something, it's like 20 years later before you get the answer out. You know what I mean? So, no, they're entitled to their opinion. That's not my argument. My argument is if she's going to give an opinion and I'm right there, well, give me your opinion then. Don't be doing it, you know, sneaky, snidey under your breath. You know what I mean? It infuriated me. And the fact that he would go behind my back, basically trying to set me up, you know, why would you do that? But in any event, that's why I got so infuriated, because I have helped them. You know, I've tried to help them. And let me tell you something else. Those new beginnings, I would not have copy struck her at all, except for the books. I mean, if she did that with the books, that's a different thing. But I wouldn't have copy struck her. He had a call to arms. He told everybody, strike her, strike her. You know, if everybody strikes her, we could, you know, this will stop. Nobody went to his aid except me. You know what I mean? Stacks didn't strike her. Al didn't strike her. You know what I mean? And this is the repayment. Well, you know, what I'm going to do, I don't quite know how to do it, but someone can walk me through it. I'm taking all those strikes down. I don't care if she puts 50 pictures of Shanna up there. You know what I mean? I'm going to just take them down. Other than the books. I don't want her to mess with my books. But if she agrees to that, I'll take any strikes I have up there, I'll take them down. Well, why should I help him?
Now, have you noticed that he seems to do a lot of ratting? between the copy strikes and between threatening to call the cops, and he has John
Yeah.
Gotti above his shoulder, above his head.
Well,
The
yeah,
last,
but you know,
the guy that would never rat.
his answer to that is that he's not in the mob. He did say, what was he saying? Something about his mother. Did they threaten the mother or something? You know, so I can kind of see that. But what it is what I think's happening. I don't necessarily think it's him actually doing it. It's probably the mother or whoever was threatened. He's engineering it, but I don't think he's actually doing it himself. So therefore, he's not the rat. That's what I think's going on for sure. He's not going to come out and do that because people hate that shit.
So, what do you think about him saying? He said the most ridiculous thing yesterday. He was talking about everybody being jealous of him because of how large his show is. He doesn't seem to realize that many shows are much larger than his.
Well,
for some reason, he doesn't understand his show's not that large.
No, what's happened is he's gotten drunk with power. You know, he thinks everybody hangs off of his every word and that he's so smart. He's the best debater. You know, he can do no wrong. Everybody hangs on everything he says. No, they don't. Some people do. You know, he's got his regular fans that, and I always enjoyed watching his show. I'm not going to lie, but I didn't hang on his every word. I disagreed with him a lot of the time, you know, that I didn't really talk about, but except when he did that with his friend there, and you know, I did say something about that, but generally, you know, I did. Yeah, I mean, I don't get it. I don't get it.
Okay. So is there anything you want to ask me because of everything? And you can shoot straight, you know, everything that happened between you and I. I mean, we went at each other pretty hard.
Yeah,
and,
yeah, we should. No, not really. I mean, you know, we're both as bad as each other, I think, when it came to that, because you're a stubborn old mule. And
yeah, unfortunately.
kind of so am I. So no, not really. I'm just glad, you know, here's the thing, you know, I'm not taking sides. I'm not on any side. You know what I mean? I go with my gut instinct about people, and my gut instinct about them was all wrong. You know what I mean? It kind of threw it off. And so now I don't feel I'm on any side, but, you know, I'm glad we're able to bury the hatchet.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. Yeah, I've got one in here too. She's somewhere. You know, I'm glad we're able to bury the hatchet, and there's no reason why we shouldn't. Why? Because
I prefer that it's buried, and the only person that I really can't stand and I never will be able to stand because he betrayed me as a friend is FBS. And he's betrayed me as a friend a couple times. Right after he hung up the phone with me, he would get on and bash me on his show out of the blue. And then he would make up excuses why he did it. He's not a very honorable human being.
No, I don't think so. I don't think he has any integrity whatsoever. I think he's all about himself. You know, he says, you know, you're worried about subs and views. He's worse.
Well, here's what it comes down to. If I was worried about subs and views, I'd be doing this show live with you right now.
Oh, I know.
You know, but he does say that, you know, and I don't have a Cash App. I don't have, you know, I don't have a lot of things that people have because to me, when you're doing live shows every day, one or two of them, it's exhausting. I don't know how Tony could do 3 or 4 of them. I mean, it is literally exhausting.
Exactly. So, I mean, my plan, I think I'd said everything that I wanted to say, but I think he's, hang on. Oh, you know, when he was talking about I've got thin skin. Look how thin his skin was when the armchair fellow, Tom LaVecchia, told his 3 horsemen there was an embargo and they weren't allowed to go on anyone's show. He was beside himself.
Yes, he
You know what I
was.
mean? He was beside himself, you know, and he cussed out. Well, he didn't cuss him out, not in my terms of cussing out, but you know, he was not a happy camper, was he? How he went after Tom LaVecchia like a demon because of that. Then he wasn't talking to Vinny. Vinny had to cry his way back, you know, to get back in with him. And you know, I think it's insane. How are you going to tell someone else they've got thin skin? And I want to say one more thing. He was up there, her and her stupid accent, you know, the British accent. You know what? He's got several British people in his show, you know, that talk just like me. So, you know, while you're insulting my accent, what accent am I supposed to have, Lee? I was born in England.
And here's something I like to make clear. He makes fun of me being on Social Security disability. I'm going to explain something to people, and you moron. I'm speaking to FBS.
Yeah.
Social Security disability is something that you put into when you're working. You do not get it unless you put into the program. And I had back surgery and neck surgery a year and a half ago. And then that's why I got it. But the fact of the matter is, it's not a freebie thing. You put into it. And then he lied last week and said I didn't have a car. I mean, these things
Yeah, I
that
heard
he's,
that.
you know, and then when someone said to him, "Oh, Lee showed his car today," he made the statement, "Oh, he's probably using somebody else's car." He's an obnoxious asshole, is what he is.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
You
I
know,
mean, you know, he did a 4-hour show on me. That's fine. But at the end of the day, that's why I was angry. You know, it's just sneaky, snidey behavior. You know, I've learned my lesson. I won't be defending them ever again. And you know, like he said, nobody told her to. You know, Shanna, she's got to come through me to talk to Shanna. Well, if that's the case, when Shanna's sitting there making her comments and whatever, she needs to shut up. You know what I mean? And not say anything then. If she,
so why do you,
you know, why is she saying shit and you can't ask her what the hell she's on about? You know, I didn't even notice it till I got off the show, you know, and the only reason I went into his chat was because he called me a liar. Otherwise, I wouldn't have even been in there. And I proved I wasn't a liar. And you know what he did? He didn't want to even acknowledge that he got the paperwork because he just got finished calling me a liar. And I proved that I wasn't, right? You know, and he's not man enough to say, oh, I was wrong. You know, he's always going to be right.
Another thing, you seem to have come up with a lot of information on me in times. Have you always researched it, or has people given it to you?
No, on my dog's life, I never paid for nothing. It was people giving it to me. They would email it, they'd send messages, Snapchats, you know, not Snapchats, what the hell do you call it? You know, screenshots, this, that, the third. No, I never any time.
Was FBS ever involved in giving you stuff that you didn't have on me or talking about it?
Let me think. No, I don't think so.
Well,
No.
that's good to know.
Yeah, I don't think he did. No. No.
So do you think a certain group of people are doing it on his behalf?
Doing what? Giving me the information?
Giving you information on me if they find something.
Back then?
Yeah. I mean,
I don't know. I mean, listen, anything is possible. You know what I mean? And the sneaky, snidey way he acts, anything is possible. You know, would I have thought that? No. But you know, I can't confirm or deny because I wouldn't know. You know what I mean? There are several people that, you know, I don't know if I guess they're trolls, are they? You know, there's a couple of people that like email me every day and stuff like that, you know, and you know, I'm not into all that, Lee. You know, I don't know about bloody trolls and what I thought when I first started. I mean, I know now, but you know, when I first started this, I wouldn't have known a troll if it smacked me in the face. You know what I mean? Or known what it was about and how people, when people gain your confidence, really they're trolling you. And, you know, I didn't understand all of that. Now I'm getting to understand it a little better, you know, but ultimately, you know, I've learned lesson learned, you know. And then even if she apologizes, he said, I want nothing more to do with her. I already said yesterday in my video, I'm done with him. I don't want anything more to do with him or Shanna.
Were you subscribed to Shanna's show?
Was I?
Yeah.
No, let me tell you why. Or was I? Let me check. I can't bloody remember now. I might have done just to be nice, but you know, I can't remember. What is it? What's it called? New Beginnings with Shanna, isn't it? Let me check that. I don't know. Because, and let me tell you something. He's going on about my show. At least my show's a little interesting. I'm not sitting there like, you know, taking me 50 years to fucking say something. Jesus.
Well, you know he's going to do a show on this video, you know, probably for 3 days.
I don't care. You know, I don't care what he does. You know, at the end of the day, we've called a truce. I'm glad about that. That's one less thing to worry about, you know, whatever. He can make 10 videos after this. He's not going to even get a response from me. You know what I mean? That's how done I am with him. I don't like sneaky, snidey people. I feel like he just shit on me. Excuse me, him and Shannon. What is it? New Beginnings with Shannon, is it? Let me see.
Do you think that he shit on Angel Gotti?
What exactly did he see?
There was a video.
I am subscribed to her. Anyway, I couldn't get through any of the videos anyway.
Well, there was a video that he did a tribute to John Gotti. And then he lied to Angel by saying that he wouldn't be copyrighted if he used the song that Angel wanted to do. That's not true. You get copyrighted, just that song. They take money for that song and give it to the musician. That's all they do. And I know this because I do shows. Right. And he lied to Angel about that, which, okay, that started things. And then right after that, he gave Jimmy Calandra, who is friends with the guy that put Angel's father in jail for life. Mm. He has a picture of John Gotti above his shoulder. And he chose Jimmy Calandra over Angel Gotti, which makes no sense.
Well, I mean, from what I understood was, I mean, I didn't know about the song part. When I kind of questioned, I think me and Jesse were talking, I said, oh, I haven't seen Angel in his chat lately. And Jesse said, yeah, because, you know, he had given Jimmy a wrench. Well, I mean, the thing is, I mean, I totally get why she, you know, wouldn't want to be in his chat anymore. But that's what I'm talking about. You know, how friendly was he with her? He used to get on there. I love Angel. I love her. You know,
I call her every day. We talk every day like friends. Yes. That's what he used to say. But he talked to Jimmy Calandra every day like friends too.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to lie. I like Jimmy Calandra. I think, you know, I like him.
He's a likable guy. You can't deny that.
Yeah, I like him. I think he's a real guy when he tells his stories. You know, he's you know, I've always kind of liked him. But you know, he started with Angel Gotti. I love her. I love her a lot. I love her. Now he must have known when he did that was going to piss her off, surely, or did? I don't think he cared. Did he?
No, he used the same line that I used. He said that Angel was trying to control his show, and then when I said it, he mocked me for saying it, and then he went on and used the same line that I used. So
yeah, well, he does that a lot. Yeah,
it's just hypocritical bullshit.
You know, so
but I learned, you know, I have no problem, you know, I regret like that video I made about Angel Gotti's brother. I said things wrong. I didn't handle it correctly. Right. And I have a lot of guilt about that. But you live and learn when you're doing this. But I don't think FBS is the type of guy that lives and learns. It's like he's on a power hungry trip right now. And he thinks it's paparazzi's outside his house. That's how he acts. He doesn't realize this is YouTube.
The way he was talking yesterday, you would think he was Jay Leno, and I was waiting to go on the Jay Leno show. You know, is he kidding me? This is mob tube. It's not. I don't even like calling it mob tube. You
No,
know. And another thing, he's going on about my freaking accent. You know, I speak Italian. He doesn't even speak his own fucking language. You know, and when he gets up there, salute mob tube. You know, they don't say that in Italy. They say salute when you're going to take a drink.
So he doesn't speak Iranian?
Yeah, according to,
okay, that one's for you, Tony. Okay.
Yeah, but you know, how are you going to talk about me? You don't even speak your own language. You know, I speak your language, mate, as well as have an accent. So what of it? You know, no, he was apparently. I'm glad I didn't watch it because, you know, I was told he was really going in on me, really vicious and whatever. So I'm glad I didn't watch it. And people just told me the bits that I needed to know. And, you know, that's it. I'm done watching him. He can make 10 shows after this. I don't care. What I'm going to do, I'm going to do a few shows with content that I originally had planned to do. I'm going to, you know, drop those like they'll be pre-recorded. And I'm going to London, you know, and I'm going to enjoy my time there. Sure am. And when I get back, you know, I'll have to ask someone. I don't know how you get out of this arena. How do you get out of this arena? You know,
well, you can. You just go into another arena. But I think that I'd like to see you do a show on the Cray brothers because they're very interesting. And you seem to know a lot about the Cray brothers.
That's what, you know, that's the type of stuff I wanted to do. And, you know, I think my next one, because I'm going to do a psychopath of the week. And, you know, the last hangman in Britain, we stopped hanging, I think, in 1960 something. And this guy was like a real weirdo. So I wanted to show you him and put his pictures up and tell you, you know, how. And that's the type of stuff. I want to get away from all this fighting and, you know, I'm fighting everybody's battles. What am I doing? You know, and what thanks do you get?
Just don't fight the battles and do your shows, and eventually that will all disappear. It's like I'll tell you what, Stack's coming after me at times. I have no problem with Stack's coming after me because I put that video up of him and stuff. So it's like him saying, "Well, fuck you, I'm coming back at you." But FBS, he's totally different because I considered him something of a friend, and he just totally turned on me like within a 2-hour period.
Well, you know, again, he's really friends to no one. You know, I know you keep saying he's friends with Jimmy Calandra, but, you know, I don't believe that. I don't believe that. I think if something happened where he had to make a choice, he'd kick Jimmy Calandra to the curb, you know.
Yeah, and then Jimmy Calandra would take 2,000 subs away from him.
Yeah,
he's playing with the wrong guy.
Yeah, because there's been many times he didn't defend Jimmy when he should have, or I thought he should have. But that's my opinion. You know what I mean?
When I went at it with Jimmy, he's the only one that ever really hurt my show where I lost a lot of subs.
Really?
So yeah. So I'm glad I lost to Jimmy subs because now I can do what I want. But when you have Jimmy Calandra subs, you better treat him good because if he leaves you. Yeah, those subs are very loyal to him. They're going to go.
Right.
You know,
but I mean, you know, I've always quite liked him. You know, I don't have any issues with him at all. You know, I like his show. You know, but I just think that friendship isn't the friendship that maybe he thinks it is. You know what I mean? Because you can tell. Look how he does people. You look what he did to Jeff Nadu. Now, yes, Jeff Nadu made a mistake, and Jeff Nadu admitted that mistake, and he was he apologized for it. You know, in any event, Fatball Sicilian didn't talk to him for how long? You know, now they're back together, but he didn't even give Jeff Nadu the chance to explain himself. You know, in the beginning.
Well, you got to remember too. He set Jeff Nadu up for that debate with me. That was Sicilian that set Nadu up.
Yeah, but he was saying that it just happened organically. That and
you know what he did? After he did that, he replayed that video of that debate and got another 4,000 views off of it.
Right.
So that if anybody's looking for the views, and listen, I respect that. if he wants to
Right.
treat it as a business as reviews,
Right.
but the man has no loyalty to his friends.
Right.
None.
Well, don't run down smaller channels, and shit all over mine. I don't do this full time. If I sat here 4 hours a day talking shit, I think I would get 1,000 subs. You know what I mean? But mine's building slowly. I'd like to get to 1,000, but if I do, I do. If I don't, I don't.
I think this way you'll get to 1,000 quicker because he does not realize how many people dislike him now. He
Right.
thinks, he said last night, I have way more many people that like me than don't. You're wrong, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, just look at iLight.
No, what he doesn't realize is, though, behind the scenes, a lot of these creators can't stand him. I get those calls.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yes, I do. He said, "Oh, no one bothers with me." Yet my phone has been ringing all day. You know what I mean? Are you okay? Got your back, etc., etc. They haven't said it publicly, but there's a lot of creators that can't stand him. And
he'll describe us as the two nut jobs that got together and did a video. He'll do something
that's
like
okay.
that.
That's okay. It's better than one nut job sitting there doing a video for 4 hours, isn't it? What's the difference? And he knows there's going to be a response. He had to know I was going to give him a response, unless he.
And that's why we're not doing a live today, because we don't want to give him an opportunity to give a response. This video will be dropped in the middle of his show, just so know.
Whatever you want to do.
That's planned. That's planned. That's not. I'm not going to give him the benefit of putting out a live before he goes on, so he can get 4,000 views off my live show. That's what it comes down to, and that's what he'll do. And
I don't care if it's recorded live. I don't care what it is. I'm putting my side of it, and no, I think what he did was messed up. I totally do. You will
not be the last person that he does this to. It'll be many more people, and then he'll blame everybody else.
Right. Set me up to be. But the thing is, you see, Stacks didn't really go in on me the way he wanted him to. That's what I believe. But I knew something was kind of off with Stacks. I felt it, but I wasn't sure what it was till I got off of there. You know what I mean?
Well, these are the times you find out who's really loyal to you and who's not. That's what it comes down to.
They're definitely, I like Stacks. He messaged me and said he's got my back 100%. And so I did tell him about that. I know that he called. In any event, that's fine. But for Fatball Sicilian to do that, I mean, why? The day before he was agreeing, then he changed his mind, then he was agreeing, then he changed his mind. It was just kind of back and forth. And I'm like, all right, well, you know what? At the end of the day, when I kind of calmed down and I reflected on it, they're entitled to their opinion. I have no problem with that. But I just didn't like the way he went about it. I didn't like the way she's sitting there, talking shit under her breath. And she does it to a lot of people. A lot of people hate that shit. You know what I mean? Even before that happened to me, people would text me, "Oh my God, look at her now." You know what I mean? So.
And no guy worth his salt would ever bring his wife into this genre. I mean, that's another thing.
Well, I mean, if she's got something to add, perhaps, you know what I mean? But I don't see anything to add. She just sits there making faces, and then every so often she'll say, "I'm getting rid of this one," if someone's talked shit or something, or she'll be like that, looking around. I don't see the purpose. What is it? Friday night with him and Shanna.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Great. Fabulous.
Well, anyway. Here's my opinion, and he may not like it. I believe that his show is only going to grow a little bit more because there's only so many people here. He's not a Jimmy Calandra. It's that simple. And he doesn't do shows about anything no more except fighting. That's it.
Yeah. The last week, that's all it's been. Even before me, it was fight the whole time. And then what he said the other day was, well, this is what brings the views, so that's what I'm going to do.
And he's right about that. Unfortunately, he's right about that.
Yeah, that's true.
And that's, that's what happens. And he eats it up and he takes advantage of it. But once the fighting stops, what's he going to do? He's not a mafia guy. He's a rat. Everybody now he doesn't realize, but everybody except the people in his chat room look at him as a rat and a police caller. He may not like that, but
I'm hoping that doesn't. I'm hoping that doesn't happen.
The rat and police caller. When he goes after people like I like, and he thinks I like to joke. That's the mistakes he makes. He thinks that he'll mock me and make fun of me, but he makes mistakes. You know why? Because Light ain't going nowhere. I'm not going nowhere. The only way he's going to get rid of Tony is by ratting on him and have him arrested by the police. Oh, how many times have you heard FBS say, "Oh, Lee's show won't be around soon"? He's been saying that for 6 months now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he said the other day Tony Pizza would be off soon. I promise you.
Well, that's ratting.
That tells you, obviously the police thing is in the works. But what I think it is, either the relatives, whoever he threatened, they've done the report. I don't think he has.
Here's what it comes down to. If Tony gets arrested, the wrath of hell will come down on FBS from everybody. Yeah. That's what's going to happen. He has no idea.
Do you think he's going to get arrested?
I hope not. You know what? With people like Jimmy
Did the police call him? He was telling him to check his messages, one show.
I have no idea.
I heard today that the police had called him or something, but I don't know. Did they?
I don't know. I haven't talked to him about that. And if they did, Tony probably isn't going to say anything.
Okay.
But when you got retired cops down in Florida, Jimmy Calandra admits that his friends are nothing but cops, which is kind of funny. I mean, this is what's going on right now. Right. And I like to tell you that one more time, Balls Sicilian. The wrath of hell is going to come down on you if that man's busted because you ratted. That you could be promised. And not by me, by so many others. You got so many people talking about it and you just don't see it because he's stuck in his egotistical mind. He doesn't see what's going on in the outside here. He just doesn't see it.
He's stuck in a bubble. He's stuck in a bubble where, he's the ruler and king of all he pervades. Everybody's supposed to just stop what they're doing and whatever he says goes. You know what I mean? And so he had a 4-hour rhetoric yesterday on me. So that's my side of it. We don't need to be on here 4 hours. I've explained it, why I was mad. And I did go in on her, but it's about time. It was getting on my nerves.
Well, Josie, we did a 1-hour video, and that's what I wanted to do. I don't like to make these. I want people just to watch it and see what they think of it.
Okay.
I want to thank you for being on the show so much.
No, that's okay. I could have just sat and done a show, but
I know you could have.
You might as well get the subs and views. I don't care. I
will ask people, please subscribe to Jesse's show. I'm sorry,
yeah,
Jesse.
please.
Not Jesse, Josie's show.
Jesse.
Please subscribe to her show. Let me
try and get to at least 1,000.
And let's show that FBS that he's not as powerful as he thinks he is. Please subscribe to Josie's show. And if you haven't, and I would ask other content makers to do the same to push their show. And Josie, I'm going to get you out of here now. Thank you so much, and I'll talk to you soon.
See you later.
You have a nice one. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, people, that was Josie, and some of you might think that I was crazy for having her on, but it's like I told everybody, I will have anybody on to be interviewed because everybody deserves to be interviewed unless proven otherwise. If FBS can be as treacherous as he's being right now, who are we to say John A. Light and Gene Burlow don't deserve to be on shows? Okay, everybody, take care. Goodbye.